Political dissidents and illegal migrants. Those are the people that should be blamed for Tunisia's spiraling economic crisis, according to the country's controversial president, Kais Saied. The president has ordered a wave of arrests of prominent political opponents and public figures critical of the leadership, saying they're causing the country's dire economic crisis, which has seen essentials like sugar, coffee, and cooking oil disappear from stores.
The recent arrests have shown, with evidence, that a number of these criminals involved in conspiring against the internal and external security of the state are the ones behind this crisis.
Meanwhile, economic experts blame the shortages on a crisis in public finances, with the state attempting to avoid bankruptcy. After a series of arrests, journalists and rights activists took to the streets in Tripoli last week, accusing the state of repression. A few days later, thousands of Tunisian trade unionists held protests across the country over the worsening economic woes and the arrest of a top union official.
There is an inability of the government and the authorities to put the country on the right track on the economic, social and political levels.
President Saied has seized almost total power in the past 2 years, forcing through sweeping changes to the already fragile democracy, including installing a toothless parliament and a new constitution. Earlier this week, his office released a statement saying hordes of illegal immigrants from sub-Saharan Africa are arriving with, quote, all the violence and crime that it entails, and vowing to crack down on the migrants. Rights groups are now accusing the president of racism and hate speech.
The President of the Republic must bear responsibility, and the Tunisian state should live up to its commitments to the regard to international rights treaties. We demand an immediate end to this systematic campaign against sub-Saharan migrants and the release of those detained.
In the past 2 weeks, more than a dozen critical politicians, judges, and media figures have been arrested. The UN Human Rights Office called on Tunisia to release those arbitrarily detained, remarks that were quickly rejected by Tripoli.